How's everyone today? Hope you're all well. Good morning, Jumarinas. Good to see you. Hey, Augusto. Hey, Christina. Good morning. Hope you're doing fantastic. Today is the 14th of May. We're almost halfway through with May. Time has certainly flown by, absolutely flown by. We'll give it a moment or two before we get started. If you can see me okay, hear me all right, I think you can. I think it's all working well. Do put into the chat and let me know. Okay, everything all working well. Hey Jimmy, how are you doing? Good evening, good afternoon. Marley, good morning, how are you doing? Hey Diana, hope you're well. Thank you for that, Jumarinas. Hey Nev, how are you doing? Alrighty, looks like it's all working out super. Yep, okay, all good. Now, again, if you are new to the session, do remember to drop a message and say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from. The link for the Discord channel is there. So do join us on Discord. You can take our discussions beyond this 1 hour session or beyond this session. Sometimes we go on a bit longer than 1 hour. Sometimes we go shorter than 1 hour. So as this, yes, I know you're in the UAE, Diana. Thanks for that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and if you are already in the Discord server channel, do remember to click verify your account, and then you get full access to all the channels. I do have a couple more channels to be launching, especially only for the Discord members, so do make sure you check that out soon. And for all the regulars, a big welcome back. Thank you again for joining me on this market analysis. Do remember, everyone, I have been doing this for a year plus. Almost every day. You can help me out massively by clicking that thumbs up button and that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to put into the chat and let me know. All right. Hey Christopher, good morning. How are you doing? Hey Lindley, good to see you again. Now, a quick disclaimer. Any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. Please do your own due diligence, as the contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to a financial product, as your objectives, financial situation and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. And with that as well, you saw the beginning of the session. Just a reminder, massive reminder to everyone. I get this almost on a daily basis. I do not run any Telegram channel. There has been a whole wave of fake profiles using my name and my face on Instagram, on Facebook, on Telegram. I don't know what other social media platforms they are using it on. Please be extra aware if you come across any messages that looks like me or uses my name. It's not me. It's not me. I will not be messaging you asking for crypto, trading bots, or anything of that sorts. Okay, especially with crazy returns. So please be aware of that. It is not me. What you can help me out with on that is to report the profile or the channel and to exit that. Okay? So that was a serious part of it. Serious part done. Let's go through the rest of the markets. Diana is asking straight away, when we're done, can we get through the pound CHF and the pound Kiwi? Yes, we can do that, especially because, well, Diana's asking, well, especially I would do that because you did highlight to me that what we spoke about yesterday, the euro yen to the upside. You're like, oh, it's getting there, it's looking interesting. That led me to focus a bit more onto the euro yen, put in my order, went to bed, woke up. I just closed it out at about 60 pips to the upside there. So I'm super happy and thankful that Diana reminded me again about the euro yen. So yes, we can do the pound CHF and the pound Kiwi. How are you doing, Richard? Good to see you. Good morning. Hey, Christopher. Christopher says Telegram app was built for scamming. That's terrible. Hope they do something about that. Good morning, Stefan. Hope you're well. Diana, you told me about the euro yen. Did you get to the euro yen? Did anyone else get onto the euro yen from yesterday? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. With that, take that away. It's not Friday. Looking at what has happened since the last time we spoke. Yesterday, a whole bunch of nothing in terms of the news. The whole bunch of nothing in terms of the news. Which actually, with no major news, we saw the dollar index. This was right after our session. It started pushing down, came close. I wouldn't say tested, but came close to that 105 round number level and bounced back up. It's pretty much still in that consolidation. Right, broke out slightly, came back up, still sitting in that consolidation, as we spoke about from yesterday, between that 105.15 and 105.40 level. It's right in the middle there. In fact, I'll show you just for a bit of fun. This was where we were yesterday. This was where we were yesterday at 3. This is where we are right now. So we were at 105.30. Now it's sitting at 105.27. The shot down, came back up, is right at the same point. Maybe our setups will look very similar to yesterday, but we'll get through that. Okay. Then for today, what we had was at 2 p.m. the UK employment numbers. Claimant count changed. Number of people claiming for unemployment benefits. All right, you can see here the number of people claiming for unemployment related benefits during the previous month. So a lower number is better. It's not the bigger number. A lower number is better because it means that less people are claiming for unemployment benefits. It was 10.9, revised down to minus 2.4. Expected 13.9, came out at 8.9. So less people claiming for unemployment benefits. We saw the pound dollar push to the upside. Updated you guys on the Discord channel. There is a push, but I do think that it's a brief move to the upside, looking for continuation back down, because it is an employment number. It is something that we watch, but at this point it's not a huge change, so I don't expect a huge price movement or a huge consistent result to continue on. Right, average earnings or wage inflation was 5.6, revised slightly up to 5.7, and it stayed at 5.7. Did not slow down. So wage inflation still at 5.7. Not fantastic news, and that's why we saw on the pound dollar, right, at 2, it pushed up and then now pushing back down again. Still sitting in that very tight consolidation here between, well, at around that 1.255 or 1.2560 level. Okay, so it's sitting in a consolidation. Later today or tonight, we do have at 8, tonight for me, later today for you guys, at 8:30 p.m. we do have GMT plus 8, we do have the US PPI, which is the producer price index, one component of the CPI, and the core PPI. Again, it's the similar to this, well, the producer side, not the consumer side of inflation, but this, the core CPI or core PPI, excludes food and energy. Okay, so at this point, let's check something. Okay, at this point, PPI 0.2, expected a small increase to 0.3. Core PPI from 0.2 to 0.2, staying at that level. I think I said this yesterday, I'm not expecting big price movements on the PPI for tonight. The focus for me is still through to tomorrow with the US CPI to be released. I'll tell you more about that during tomorrow's session. But yes, what we have, can't rule out that there could be a spike or big or more significant retrace, but I don't expect this to be a massive move. Okay, and then I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we do have the Aussie with their wage price index, the 0.9, and this is quarter on quarter, so it might have a bit of a significance, or more greater significance. It was 0.9, it's expected 1.0. With wage price index, or again wage inflation, possibly climbing slightly to the upside, we might see some slight strengthening of the Aussie dollar. But I think if the dollar index continues to sit in this consolidation, then we're likely to see most currency pairs continue to consolidate for the time being. Okay, I think generally all eyes are primed and waiting for the CPI tomorrow. Most traders and investors are waiting for the CPI tomorrow. If you look at the CME Fed Watch 2, and while we're waiting for that to load, hey Angel Case, how are you doing? Good morning. Diana got into the Euro Yen. How much do you make on that? Are you still holding on to that? Okay, so if you look at the way the CME Fed Watch 2, it was staying at about, well, it's pretty much gone. A week ago was 91.3, now at 96.5% chance that the Feds would keep rates on hold on the 12th of June. I don't think that if tomorrow's CPI is going to drop, if tomorrow's CPI goes from a 3.5 to a 3 even if it goes to a 3.2, I don't think it's going to change the likelihood, I don't think it's going to change the likelihood for a rate cut scenario from the Feds at the June meeting. Right? I don't think it's going to do anything. I think that it might have some impact, or is most likely to have some impact, but it's not going to change the percentages on the Fed Watch 2. So with all that said, if we look at the dollar index here, it is still sitting at that same level. Okay, we'll have a look at that shortly. Take that away. All right, today is the 14th of May. We've seen the dollar push down, sit in that area, sitting in that consolidation, break out slightly, push back up. I would expect it to still continue to consolidate. I would expect it to consolidate with a brief push to the upside. All right, so we looked at that. 61.8 lines up there. Let me see. Let me get a better picture of this. Okay, I just want to see the whole move that came down. 61.8 is there. That makes sense. This is pushing down. There's a bit of a flag or pennant to the downside. Broke down, bounced back up. We have the round number level here. I don't need that. Let's take that away. 50% is right there. 61 is right at the round number. Okay, so that's going to hold, likely to hold at that point. We can take that one away. Okay, so why we have this move up, 61.8 is right there. So that's likely to hold. Okay, now with that, then thinking about this, we're 50% there, so don't need 38.2. So from this move down, we have the bottom here, so we have that 61 level here, we have this point here at 105.4T. So what I'm looking at here on what I would anticipate for the dollar index would be a brief, well, to continue consolidating. And I actually think that I would actually keep that. Right, I would actually keep that, but I would take this part away. Right, so you can see that it dropped down and then pushed back up, now it's sitting there. So I'm thinking that it could is consolidating and it could retest 105.50 between around this range of 105.40 to 105.50, and I'll keep that. Hey Ayakame, how are you doing? Good afternoon. So we'll keep that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Not expecting a lot of movements, but next move I do think we could see it push up to that 105.50 level. Okay, then with that, so anticipating very brief dollar strength. This was a little bit too optimistic, thinking it's going to come down and push back up. Did not trigger, take that away. It's sitting in that consolidation still. I think that with the dollar sitting in that consolidation, this might push down slightly. Don't need that. I have that. We could have this holding prices up. That's what I'm looking at. So that's what I'm looking at for the Kiwi, which might not be for today. So I think today the Kiwi might sit in this area here. Right? The Kiwi might sit, I like drawing that triangle. Where is it? Yeah, the Kiwi might sit in this triangle here. And then we might see it break out to the upside. That way. So I'm thinking it's going to sit in here and it could break out. Maybe one thing to look out for would be 6045. Stop loss, very tight, no more than 20 pips. Take profit, you have 30 at that 50% level. You could go to, well, 40 is a bit of a stretch. Let me see. We see this push up, test, reject. Okay, I would respect that level at 6080, so maximum of 20. If it does break out, what you could even be looking at is about a 15 pip stop. Take that away. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that Kiwi might bounce around like that, and then we see a push to the upside. Maybe not today. I think today is going to sit in that area, but we could look for that push to the upside. So 6045, 15 to 35 to the upside for the Kiwi. Within that triangle, but we're looking to buy at 0.6045, stop loss 15, take profit 35. Quite a small trade there. Then onto the Aussie, right? This was yesterday. Looking for it to push up. Has not pushed up that much. It pushed up slightly, retraced back down. This whole area is holding, and you know, we were right here yesterday, and we're right here at the same point. So if we're at the same place, we should have that same view, right? That we want to see it push up first before we do anything else, and it kind of looks a bit similar to the Kiwi. So I would maintain that view. No H1 setup, looking for reaction at 6660. And I don't like it even, I like it even less now to try and trade it up, because you have so many levels. You have one here at 6625, you have a nearer one at 6640 with a major resistance at 6660. So we definitely want to stay out of this for now, and we're looking for that reaction at 6660. Also bearing in mind that that news tomorrow morning, all right, could see a push to the upside. So ideally, what I'll be looking for would be that. Okay, so maintain that view, waiting, looking for a reaction at 6660. Okay, then any questions so far? All good? Let me know. If it's all good, put into chat. All good. If it's yep, okay. Now on to the US yen. We spoke about this. At first, we were talking about a possible sell to the downside. I think later into the session, added in the possibility of buying it up. I did not get into this. Dinah didn't want me about this. Just kidding. But it did push up, right? So it didn't trigger down. Okay, wait, before that. It did push up. If you caught this from yesterday, went up to about 30 something pips. I do think that there might be a bit more upside, especially thinking that we could see the dollar index push higher. Did not trigger that downside move, so take that away. That area is broken. Thanks for that, Linley and Diana. So it's broken that high, pushed up. Now possibly looking for continuation to the upside to that round number level of 157. All right, looking for a continuation to 157. It is right in the middle here, so be more careful about this. I want it to be above 156.50. This could be something to look out for. 156.60, stop loss tight 20 pips, take profit 40 to the upside towards 157. All right, I would be looking at this not so much for this trade alone, but I'll be looking at this as, okay, if it gets to 157, then what I'll be more tempted to do will be to move this to break even or secure some profits. Then after that, drag this higher to see whether it can go up, to try and ride the move to the upside. But this is the first, so-called the first step for the upside move. Okay, so that's what I'll look out for. I wasn't convinced. Yeah, it did push up, but it was a bit of a, it pushed up and then sat there. This was at 11 last night for me, so it was not a great timing. And then a continuation to the upside very early this morning. So I will keep that view. 150, I'll be looking to buy at 156.60. Stop loss 20, was it 20? Yes, take profit 40 to the upside. 40 to the upside towards that 157 level. If it gets to 157, then, or it looks like it's pushing up towards 157, then we could see it drag it up and look for further upside. Jimmy with the, hey Lydia, how are you doing? Jimmy asking, Powell speaking tonight, will he make any big movements? Powell's speech tonight is at the Netherlands Foreign Bankers Association in Amsterdam. Can't say no for sure that there won't be any big movements, but it's unlikely. Unlikely that I don't even think that it's going to be published or widely available. I don't think that there will be big policy references. So I don't think it's going to lead to any massive movements, but Powell could surprise us, I think, but in this case, I think it'll be a little bit unlikely. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out as well. So we look for that. That actually looks quite good. All right. Then to the pound dollar. Cool. If that was my resistance, now turned to support. See, that took a while. This was yesterday. We said it's going to go up. Look for it to go up. Look for it to test and come back down. It's gone up to kind of where we wanted it to go. Now we need it to come back down and go down to where we want it to get to. So I'll maintain this view, 1.2530. I could go lower to this on 20 pips, take profit 60 to the downside, right? So we've seen that push up on part one of the move. Now we want to see it break that support as part two of the move to the downside. Could it pause and hesitate? Maybe in this area, but I think if it pushes down, we might see it come lower. Right, so I will say that, but we could hesitate at 1.25 as a round number level. Okay, hesitation at 1.25 level. Okay. Oh wait, not buy. I think I made a mistake there from yesterday. This should be a sell. Sell 1.2530, stop loss 20, take profit 60 with a hesitation at 1.25. Right, sorry about that from yesterday. Anyone who was reading it from yesterday will be wondering, why am I buying at 1.2530? We're actually looking to sell at 1.2530 to the downside with a possible hesitation at about that point, 1.25 round number. Is that not a bull flag on the pound dollar? You mean this, or yeah, that move, and then that could be, but I saw that move up because of the news. So, and given that it's tested and come back down, if it does break that support, it could be a bull flag, but I think that if it does break the support level, it might invalidate that pattern and hit lower. Right, so that one, or that one, or that one there. Right, so I'll still highlight that point as a possible level that if it breaks, it could invalidate that pattern and hit lower. Okay, cool. But thanks for pointing that out as well, Richard. Now, Diana saying that US yen will point to 156.15 fair value, and from there I might buy. 156.15 will be there. I would say that US yen would be a buying opportunity if it does retrace down to this level. yes, you would be looking to buy. That would make sense. I don't see it retracing that much. If anything, I just see maybe a consolidation before pushing up. I don't see that retrace down to this point. If it comes down to this point, you might see a bit more movements towards 156 and then bounce back up. I think if it can get to 156.15, it might come a bit lower to test 156 and bounce. Okay, but yes, still looking for that buying opportunity. Onto the pound, if it fails to break the support, would it be a good buying opportunity? If it fails to break the support, yes, I would say it's a good buying opportunity. I would think that it kind of depends on what's happening on the dollar as well, and also on the euro, right? Kind of move a bit in tangent or in together. So if it fails to break, could we buy it up? Yes, you could, but if we're thinking of that, then we're looking at quite a weak dollar. Yes, you could be looking to buy it up. You could be looking to buy it up if it bounces, if it comes down. Maybe this hour fails to break lower, stays within that flag, and then the next moment we see it bounce back up. You would look to buy it up. I wouldn't rush into it just because it failed to break. I would say that even if you look to buy, I wouldn't buy at the bottom here. It could just remain in this range. I would only look to buy above 1.2570 for that kind of move, and you have a tight stop at no more than 15, right? I would only look to buy if it goes past that point, because what could happen is it just bounces within this range back down. So just be careful with that. Don't rush in to buy. Okay. Then on to the euro. Well, we spoke about this. Was actually something that I came in and I was looking at the euro yen. I'll show you the euro yen first. So euro yen, when we're looking at it this morning, at about that point, yeah, euro yen pushed up, right? And then it came to that point. I was highlighting in the group. I was thinking about it. Could I look to close out on this trade? I was thinking to close out on this trade because thinking that it could come up, and then looking to sell this. If it breaks lower, I'll sell it down. So selling the euro dollar down, I close out on the euro yen because I was thinking that it was going to come down. So I was sitting there waiting to close this off. Didn't. I closed out. I finally closed out at 60 right there, just on the last candle. So I'll take that one away, right? But I continued pushing up. The euro dollar, I was watching this level. Someone on the Discord channel was asking, am I in yet? Am I in yet? No. I'm waiting for it to break 1.0785, as in close below 1.0785 before selling it down. I'm still sitting here. I'm still waiting, right? So it did push up to where we expected. I'm not looking for the upward move. I would still be looking for this to break and to trade it down. We can look at that. I don't even need that actually. 50 is right there. Right, so you have a 20 pip stop loss. You can have a 20 pip take profit as a 1:1, and then a next one down here at almost 60 pips to the downside. So I'll maintain that, and I'll be looking at euro. We've seen it go up and react to that 1.08 level. So that's done. Look for reaction at 1.08. Given that it's reacted to 1.08, we're looking to sell at 1.0785. We're looking for a stop loss of 20, a take profit of 60, again with a hesitation at a 1.0765. 1.0765, so at 20 pips. Okay, so still waiting. That's coming very close, but I'll wait for that to go lower, close below that point. Hopefully at the end of this hour, we might see it come down, close below that point, and then look to sell it down. All right. Yes, okay. US Swiss franc. Again, choppy, right? US Swiss franc, we're looking for a reaction 9010. It did not come down to that point, but the US Swiss franc is remaining within this range of 9057 and 9095. Not very big move, not a very big distance between the two levels here, only about 40 pips at a maximum of 40 pip range. So I would not be too keen. Let me think, could you try this? 25 to 50. I wouldn't. It's just too many level there. It's just too strong. Okay, so I'll keep that and not do too much on the Sweezy. I'll say that it's ranging between 0.9055 and 9095. 9055 and 0.9095. Am I right? Got it? Got it? Yes, that. Okay, so it's gonna, I think that's gonna stay within this range. Even if it comes up and tests, you know, a 10 pip stop, 30 pip take, might be something that you want to try as it stays within that range, but I think it's not something that I like to do. It's just too small a range to try and meddle with. Okay, but that could be if you really had to or really wanted to try a small stop of 10, 30 pip, or what, still a very good 1 to 3 to the downside, keeping within that range. So we're looking for that kind of move. Then onto the USCAD, sitting down in that consolidation. We talked about this as a move to the downside, right? Sell to the downside towards that support. It's bounced around. If you did get into that trade, now it's sitting almost slight loss. 1.367578 is a 3 pip, 5 pip loss right now. I think that if you did, anyone got onto this trade, if you got onto this trade, I'll possibly look for it come down to break even and close it out. Not worth holding on to it. Might be a bit undecided on the CAD right now. I'm just thinking, could it push up? I'm actually thinking that it's going to stay around this level. That's why I don't, you know, if you got into that, I wouldn't hold on to that. I think it's just going to bounce around here. Very similar, or even more so than the Sweezy. Yeah, I think it's going to come up and bounce around this point at 1.3690. I don't see it moving. Any major? No. Thinking, I don't like this. I don't like it being right in the middle there. Right, and if I took that area away and you just looked at this point here, it's really that decision level. So we kind of want to see what happens at 1.37. Okay, and I think you get it will pay off. It will pay off a lot more to just wait to see reaction at 1.37. If that comes to this point, if that comes up to this point, we're going to have a better reason if it breaks up to buy it up, or if it reverses, then we have a better reason to sell it down. It's just in the middle there. It just needs to come up to that point. Okay. Diana says daily candles indecisive. Yeah, it's just sitting right there. So it's a bit of a consolidation. Is the dollar index correlated with the 10-year yield? It's not 100% correlated, but there is a close correlation. There is a close correlation, not 100% though. Okay, then we'll get to gold, and then we'll get to the other two pairs that Diana was asking about. Gold, we were talking about this yesterday. If it breaks 23.45, could get to 23.28 or 23.30. It broke 23.45 yesterday. Came down to 23.40, bounced back up, came down to 23, as low as 23.32, tested that support, turned to resistance again, and now pushing back down. I would anticipate that if it breaks 23.35, you'll get to 23.28. I don't see massive downside yet. I think tomorrow might be a big mover. Tomorrow's news might be a big mover for gold. I don't see it today. I wouldn't say rush into anything on gold. You might, if you're only trading gold, you might want to hold off until tomorrow. I kind of see a bigger move tomorrow. For now, it does looks like if it breaks below that point, 23.35, it will just come down slightly to 23.28. I only see that move there. Okay, so 23.35, trade down to 23.28. Lingopedia, how are you doing? You just missed out on the gold analysis, but main gist of it is that, you know, I'm not too keen on it right now. I'm possibly more interested in gold for tomorrow. I see a bigger move on gold for tomorrow. Okay, so that's why I'm only expecting a small trade to the downside. Then on to the pounds. Well, let's look at the pound yen first. So we talked about the euro yen pushing to the upside, is coming to that resistance. I'm thinking that the dollar yen pushing up slightly more, and the euro maybe pushing down, might see a bit of a hesitation at this resistance level. All right, at this round number level of 169. If the euro drops, if the euro reverses or continues to the downside, if the euro pushes down, then we're likely to see, could be thinking of a down reversal on the euro yen, 168.80, stop loss 30, take profit, you could go down to 75 at that point. Let me see, you don't need that. It has been pushing up steadily. When it comes to that point, there's no relevant levels. There we go. So it could come back down to this point at 168 round number. So that's what I'll be looking for in that area there. So I'll be looking at that. So what I'm looking for is a push and a down that way. Okay. 168.66 you got out. Okay, that's a fair move as well. It came up to that point, you got out. That's okay. Looks good there. That's what I'll look for on the euro yen. On the pound yen, went up, did not come back down to break that trend line because the pound did not move. Pound shot up. Now I would be looking at this next level up here. Continuation. Pound dollar pushing, if it does push down, we might see it come down to test this point with the resistance up there. It's right in the middle now. So what you would be looking at here, nothing now, right? Nothing right now. I think that I would like to see the pound dollar come back down, and we're pretty much undecided on the pound dollar, right? We're thinking that the pound dollar could, wait, come back to this. We're thinking that the pound dollar could break that support, or I'm thinking the pound dollar could break that support and push down. We're also seeing a bullish flag or pennant and could bounce off the support to the upside. So we're quite undecided on the pound dollar, and that kind of translates to how we could see the pound yen, because right in the middle, what we could be looking at is for it to push up, all right, and that's a good 100 pip move to the upside, or we could be looking for it to break that support. So I would, if you want to buy it up, it'd be 196.65, stop loss about 40 pips, take profit about 70 to the upside. If you want to sell it down, I wouldn't sell it down yet. I would only sell it if it breaks that support. Stop loss 30, take profit 105 to the downside. I think it'd be a bit too premature to try and sell it as it comes down towards that trend line. So that's what I'll look out for on the pound yen. Then on to the pound Swiss franc. Right, we spoke about this yesterday, thinking that it'll come down to the support. It looks very good right now. Actually, I like it. If the pound dollar comes back down, we could see that. We check something. Bollinger is fine. Test and reject. Could look to sell it down. 1.1385. Stop loss 20. Take profit 50 to the downside. Not ready yet, but that's what I'll be looking for on the pound Swiss to the downside as a test and reject that level. Especially if the pound dollar does push down. US Swiss franc sitting in there, not doing too much. If it tests and reject down, then that's going to drive the pound Swiss further. So yes, I'll be looking for that rejection of the level to the downside. Looks like a good setup. And then onto the pound Kiwi. Yes, pound Kiwi. Do I have it here? Am I missing it? No, I don't have it. Nope. Okay. Then we get to the pound Kiwi. We had it before. Let me add this first. Okay, pound Kiwi, same thing. Been a long time, so take away everything. Up, top, down, bottom. 23 tested that level. And looks like it's rejecting. Put it as a resistance for now, that point. We have a support down here. So test, reject, pushing down. I think that it looks like it's too late to get in. There's only there's an 80 pip move there. So that's actually still okay. Outside of the Bollinger, looking for it to retrace. One, you could, now that it's outside of the Bollinger, right? I'll look for it to retrace. We could be looking at a retrace. So what, 2.0835, stop loss 40, take profit 90 to the downside. That's waiting for a retrace. Or because it's a little bit, it's moved quite a bit now, possibly because of the pound, no, not the pound dollar, Kiwi pushing up, the Kiwi pushing up. So the Kiwi strength is dragging the pound Kiwi down. Might push down. Alternatively is that we look at this point here and then you look to sell it down 2.08, stop loss tight, 20 pips, take profit down to about almost 60 pips to the downside. So if it pushes all the way, well, it's pushing all the way now, but it's 5 minutes to the candle close. It's quite outside of the Bollinger. I'm anticipating a retrace. Then look to sell it back down. So that kind of move. Or for it to continue down, sit around this level, then you look to sell it down this way. A bit surprising, a bit not a pair that I look at. You guys know that I don't even have it there. But not a pair that I look at, but it's quite surprising of how it's moving right now. If I checked it on the 15, you'd see that it's outside of the Bollinger. It should come back in. Maybe you're looking at about 2.0830. Your stop could be about 40, take profit about 85, 86 to the downside. So looking for that retrace. Okay. Is that pound weakness not because of the unemployment number? Ayakame, watch out. I can't remember whether I've added you on Facebook. It could be a fake profile, so just please be careful of. I'm not much on Facebook, So please be careful if you're adding a profile. Might not be me, might be a fake account. Just check that again. Send it to me in the Discord channel. We can check that. Thanks, PM. Dinah's bullish on the pound Swiss. It could bounce back up. Well, pound dollar is sitting right there. Swissy is sitting right there. I still feel that it might sit there and then we look for that. I don't see a big push up unless the pound dollar gains that strength back up again. Okay. Yeah, so there's a pound weakness, not because of the unemployment. The pound weakness, unemployment rate slightly up to 4.3, but the claimant count numbers are good. I think that it's not really because of unemployment. I think that it's just pushed up. We saw that reaction. Right now, what we're looking at is that dollar getting a bit. I'm wondering why the Kiwi is pushing up that much. Because of that news? No, that shouldn't do too much. So it's just popped up slightly, and but I still think it's going to range like that for now. Okay, so Kiwi keeping still within that triangle, not too exciting. Aussie pushing up slightly, looking for the test of the resistance. US yen still sitting there in a bit of a consolidation, looking at possible push to the upside. Pound dollar push down, retracing, could remain within this area. Maybe with the flag could break out, but I'm still looking at that, testing the support first. Euro dollar sitting, falling asleep in that area, looking for it to break that point before we could see further downside. Swissy within that range. If you really wanted to, maybe this might be something I'll try. I don't normally trade the US Swiss franc, but 10 pip stop loss is something worth trying. Test and reject. Sell it 10 to 30 to the downside, just set and forget. USCAD possibly pushing lower now, but I think in this area anything can happen. Okay, so again, please remember that if you have any questions, join us on the Discord channel. You can ask questions there, and please trade well, trade safe. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye.